Hey, I'm out for a little walk today, little hike, and I've got to tell you a little story. So one time when I was younger and backpacking in New Hampshire and Maine, and we settled in for the night at a lean-to someplace in Maine. And as we're sitting there and eating our dinner and so on, I see this guy coming up the trail all by himself. He's really moving, he's practically running. And he comes up to us in the lean-to where we were, and he sits down a second. He had a little backpack, about the size of this one, and he throws his backpack on the floor of the lean-to, pulls out a canteen, takes a little sip of water, pulls out of his backpack a energy bar, and we're talking. He says, I don't know if it's true, depends if you believe him or not. He says he owned the record for hiking the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail goes from Georgia all the way to Maine. We were on the Appalachian Trail at the time, just hiking a few miles of it. He said he started in Georgia and he was almost done in Maine, and that he was trying to break his own record for completing the Appalachian Trail in record time. He didn't stay with us for 5 minutes and then he took off again. He said he was going to be hiking right into dark. He practically ran up the trail. And I said to myself, even though I was young and in good shape, that's not for me. But you know, what did he have in his little backpack? He had some energy bars, he had some water, he had essentials. He had a small, thin sleeping bag attached to the outside of his backpack. I don't know what he did for shelter, if he stayed in lean-tos or if he had a sheet of plastic to throw over himself. It was very minimal. His backpack looked very small and very light, like something I would use on a day trip. So, you know, you can only take so much baggage with you. That's kind of the point that I'd like to make. How much baggage can you take with you on life? You have to pick your essentials, you know. You can't say, oh, I want to bring on my in my backpack Matthew Henry's commentaries. You can't bring a TV. You can't bring, it's probably not smart to fill your backpack up with a big bag of potato chips. You have to use your wisdom when it comes to picking your foods, high protein, high carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, lots of hydration, and so on. You can only take so much with you. And that brings me to the Book of Philippians, where it says, think on these things. Think on what is true. Think on what is lovely. Think on what is holy, beautiful, godly. Think on those things. Because, brothers and sisters, we are not made to take all this extra baggage on our trip through life with Jesus Christ. We have to travel light. And once we fill our minds with the good things that the Bible instructs us to fill our minds with, there's not going to be room for anything else. Fill your backpack with essentials, with things that are good for you, not with things that are a waste. And once your backpack is filled with those essentials, to be honest with you, there's not going to be room for anything else. Let's talk about the essentials that should be filling our minds during our home fellowship tonight. God bless. Praise the Lord.